Internship for Tech Excellence information session with Workday. We're so excited to share this information with you all. We'll quickly go through a round of intros. I'll go ahead and start. I am Tori. I'm a marketing and outreach coordinator here at CodePath. I may have spoken to some of you on either LinkedIn, via email, or Handshake. We're really excited to share more details about this awesome internship opportunity for the summer. So I'll go ahead and pass it on to Brian to quickly introduce himself.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Wallace. I'm a senior instructional program manager here at CodePath. I lead our immersive programs, which site is a part of, and so really interested to get to know a little bit more for you all to get to a little bit more about the program.
Yes, awesome. Angeline, you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Angeline. I'm part of Workday's university recruiting team. So excited to see you all here and share more about Workday. Now we'll pass it over to Jenny.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny, and I have the pleasure of leading our global intern and co-op program. And so excited to work with Angeline and to get to know all of you.
Cool. Awesome. All right. We will dive in. So I will go ahead and show you guys, this is our agenda. We'll get to know CodePath a little more. If you guys don't know about us already, what the site program is, the eligibility and application process, and then we'll also dive into a little bit about, who Workday is as a company. And then lastly, we'll have a Q&A opportunity where you guys can chime in the chat, or turn on your mic and chime in and ask any questions you guys may have. So let's get to it. Awesome. So who are we? What is CodePath? So meet our founders, Michael, Nathan, and Tim. They had initially started CodePath as a for-profit company, creating and redesigning global engineer onboarding programs for companies such as Airbnb, Facebook, Netflix, Lyft, and so on. And they really saw firsthand the lack of diversity within the tech talent pipeline. And so they really wanted to shift and make a difference and launch CodePath.org. So CodePath.org, we are a 501c3 nonprofit whose mission is to diversify the tech industry by transforming computer science college education nationwide. And to date, we've trained 10,000 plus computer science college students since 2015. And we're really proud to share that over 61% of our students are women and underrepresented minorities. So you might be wondering, okay, we're a nonprofit. How are we offering all of our programs for free and all these amazing resources? Well, one, we partner with leading tech companies to create job-focused CS courses. We'll partner with these like-minded companies also looking to end the inequity in tech. For example, we partnered up with Meta to kind of redesign our cybersecurity course, which will be running next fall. So you can keep an eye out for that. And then two, we teach our courses both remotely and on campus to college students across the United States. So we partner with different colleges and universities to bring these hands-on courses that are completely free. And then lastly, we don't just give you these amazing free hands-on courses. We also want to launch you into high-paying jobs and career paths. And in this case, we are partnering with Workday to bring you guys this amazing summer internship opportunity. And then, once you are within the CodePath community, you are completely submerged in this amazing community of thousands of passionate computer science students like yourselves. We have a Slack channel with 10,000 plus students. We have an opportunities channel where you'll be able to participate in and see different opportunities coming in. But we're so grateful to our partners to allow for us to carry out this mission that we're very passionate about here at CodePath. So without further ado, here's Brian to take the mic to discuss essentially what you guys are here for today. So take it away, Brian.
Thanks, Tori. So the
Yeah.
idea here is that we're talking about SITE, and SITE is our summer internship for tech excellence. It is in partnership with Workday. And what we want to do is to be able to give you a little bit of an overview and walk you through some of the features of the program. And then if you have questions, we want to be able to be here to answer some of those for you as well. So just from the large sort of big picture of things, right? So this is our partnership with Workday, our internship. We want to be able to provide a work experience as well as a learning experience for what we have as rising juniors into this program. And so it is hopefully going to be able to provide you a full stack development experience. So the goal here is to be able to allow you to walk away from here and have some work experience with a corporate partner in terms of ideas, and then walk away with some skill sets and hopefully a project that you can put onto your portfolio as well as you start to go look for additional internships as well. We call this sort of our pre-internship space. And I like to say that because, again, the thought process is by the time you finish here, you'll be hopefully set up to be able to really reach out for those internships going into that senior year for you. All right. So to break it down, it's a 10-week paid summer internship. So you will receive payment for participating in the space. It is 10 weeks. It is what we call an immersive program, which means that it will happen from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., a sort of a 9 to 5 sort of day for you. It is a full day of learning in this case. This program will be happening virtually as well. So in this opportunity, you'll be introduced to a full stack web development. We will be working with the React stack, Node, Express, and then we'll also be working with a database opportunity, which will be Postgres or Mongo, depending on where you are. So we actually will, the other part of this that's really great is that we pair you one-on-one with a corporate mentor. So you'll be working directly with someone from Workday or one of our corporate partners as well. So I want to make sure we put that out there. The next piece here is that they will get a chance to meet with you once a week and sort of walk you through the process and answer any questions you might have about what does it look like to work in the tech space? What are some questions you might have specifically about the work you're doing? And then also we want to make sure that you know that we'll set this up sort of as a work environment. So you'll be working as a collective in pods of 2 to 3 or 4, depending on the size, to actually develop out a capstone project. So giving you a heads up on what that looks like. So we break it down in our first 5 weeks. It's all about an instruction where you will learn concepts. And then those last 5 weeks really are for you to work as a small group developing out your capstone projects. So one of the other parts that are really great to this project is that the last week we are looking to have an in-person process with Workday where you'll have a chance to actually visit the campus and work with our corporate partners that are helping to put this program on. So give you that heads up as well. And again, just so that people know, it does start the June 6th and go through August 12th. It is Monday through Friday, just so that you know it is not, we don't want you to have to be here on the weekends as well. So we can go to the next slide if you will, Forrest.
Oops, went back too far. There you go.
Speaking of the schedule, here's a sample schedule for you. You are again expected that if you're participating, we do expect you to participate fully. And that does look like that 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that's Pacific Standard Time. So again, just giving that heads up if you need to adjust for those time spans. The other part of this is that, as you can see, we've broken it up into a morning session, you have a lunch break, and then an afternoon session. Typical day is what you'll see here. On Mondays and Wednesdays, we would typically have a topic that we'll introduce for you. And then those Tuesdays and Thursdays is sort of a flex day for you to continue some practice in terms of what you were introduced to. Each week you will have an assignment that is due for that week or 2 weeks. There are some that extend to be 2 weeks, but the idea is that you'll have an assignment that largely covers those concepts that were covered over that time frame. In the same day, you'll have opportunities for labs that will happen either over 1 day or 2 days. So think about it that way, where you'll have sort of that introduction to a concept, a lab to practice it, and then an assignment to actually check your understanding for the week. So this was how it's sort of broken down. Throughout that time as well, you have opportunities to meet with your mentor once a week for about an hour time frame that you will have some autonomy over when that time will happen and scheduling as well. And then also on top of that, we will have what we call our tech taste workshops, where there's opportunities for you to learn additional technologies and or concepts that may not be built directly into the program. So that's sort of a typical day for where you are. And then we can go on to the next time to speak a little bit more about what we'll actually learn. So we go to the next slide there. And in this case, you can see sort of the breakdown of where this look in that 5 week, those first 5 weeks. We really start with this idea of architecture and web basics, so that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then we move into the idea of what does it look like to start building with the framework or components, which is that React space. And then we move from the front end to start thinking about our back end pieces of things. So where you'll start to think about APIs, what does that look like? And then ultimately we start talking about the idea of what does it look like to handle data? And then ultimately, how do we put it all together? So if you want to see a little bit more, and this slide deck will be made available to you, I believe. So you'll have a chance to actually go through specifically in these cases. And if there are any particular questions, please feel free to jump out and ask those questions as you will. So just giving you a heads up there. What you'll also see if you look at that bottom row is sort of our lab space where you'll have a chance to really practice each of those pieces in a hands-on way. In order for you to be able to see how those concepts come to life in your own program. We also want to make sure that you know that while we do spend 5 weeks going through instructional concepts, those are not the only concepts that you can use or will use in your capstone. You'll have that additional 5 weeks to explore and add any additional learnings you might find or other concepts that you find interesting to include in your capstone as well. And we can go to the next slide. Speaking of that capstone project, again, from week 5 to week 10, you'll work in pods of about 3 and sort of this idea to build out your capstone. The idea here is that going into week 4 and week 5, you'll start to present or make a presentation, pitch rather, for what your capstone will be. And the instructional team will okay that and approve that. And then from that space, you will be working in your groups to actually make that a reality. So, excuse me. So the idea is that that schedule will then change that we saw there. It'll be a lot more autonomous time, which is really spent, and hopefully this will help you to see that work experience environment where we're really working to try and build out a deployable app that you'll create. We will continue to have a modified version, so no longer will that day look exactly like it did before with that session in the morning, session in the evening. It's much more of a flexible schedule where we will continue to have check-ins with you, stand-ups, and what we'll also continue to do is to provide some of those workshops where you'll continue to learn more opportunities of things that you can add to your actual app itself and give you more ideas. So want to make sure that you know that, as well as you'll continue to have support by your TAs and any instructional place, any of the instructional team you'll be able to reach out to as well. And then hopefully the idea is that by the end of the time frame, your app will be so awesomely done that you'll be ready to demo it in front of everyone, including the students, mentors, as well as our corporate partners, to share what your team was able to create for your demo. And we can go to the next. We have a few examples here that you may have seen. This one is actually from our previous year. So Curios, it's actually a blockchain app that gives a chance to look at cryptocurrency and track cryptocurrencies and where they are. We'll go to the next one there. And then we have EventMe, which actually is a web app to resolve the lack of usability for event platforms. And this idea really does allow you to search based on what you might be interested in, the type of event you might be interested in as well. I think so here's the big question that everyone sort of makes sure they want to make sure they're good to go. So in terms of eligibility, we are looking for people who are looking to be software engineers. If that is something you have an interest in, we definitely want you to be a part of this program. Students who will complete their sophomore year in the spring of 2022. We like to say that if you will expected to be finishing school in 2024, think of it that way as well. We're also looking for students who are pursuing a course of study in computer science or a closely related field. There's a few of those that are listed, and obviously if you think yours is one of those, feel free to apply. The other part is that we do ask that you have at least some experience in like a CS 101 or one type of programming class. And the idea really around that is that we want you to be able to come in and be successful, because we will be diving into things such as functions, conditional loops, variables, primitive data types, and arrays. And that we just don't want you to feel like you were not prepared or would be underwater coming in. So that's why we ask for that. And then preferable, we do ask for students who are currently located in some of these areas. That's not a must-have, but again, what we understand is that these are some of the burgeoning tech areas in the space. And so from corporate partner space, those are some areas that they're really interested in being able to work in and work around. So that's the Bay Area, Atlanta, Chicago, Boulder, Colorado, or if you're interested in moving to some of those places, that's also a good idea. And then lastly, we are looking for you to be able to, for students to be able to exhibit professionalism, be able to communicate effectively, and have a collaborative attitude. And most of all, especially a growth mindset. This is an immersive program and it does move fairly quickly. So I want to make sure that we say that out loud. So we want you to be able to work with others in a positive manner. We want you to be able to communicate where you are and ask questions along the way. And then also be able to know that you won't necessarily get it the first time, and that's okay. All right. Again, this is only available to students who are able to work in the U.S. and don't require employer sponsorship. So again, if you have any more additional questions, we'll have some opportunities at the end to answer, but I do want to pass it back to Tori.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. I believe, there's one last portion. Yes, sorry.
Sorry, I'm moving too fast. Okay.
Okay.
The last piece of this is if you do want to apply, we're excited to have you. There's two parts to the process. The first is that we ask that you would go to this link here to actually see the application. And we'll ask you just a few questions about yourself, who you are, some of your basic demographics and things that you're interested in. And then we'll ask you to complete what we call our pre-work. And really, this is just to give you sort of an example of some of the apps you might create or some of the actual things you might see as you go along. We do ask that you complete it. It's if I don't know if I might be dating myself here, but it is a clone of assignment app. So if you all happen to remember, or you see one of those laying around the house where it would play a sound pattern and you would have to repeat that pattern. So we ask that you, for that pre-work, we ask that you would create one of those as a web project. And then secondly, we ask that you sort of create a GIF of you showing or demonstrating that all of your components work. And then the next part of that is we have some reflection questions for you about the work that you did. So that first part of that work is really completing the project and telling us about your experience. And then secondly, we ask you to complete a video response for us. We sort of call it our video interview, if you will, that has a couple questions that we want to hear from you about and hear about your experience and how interested you might be in actually joining the program. We ask that it be no more than 5 minutes. It's not meant to be long. We just want to get a chance to see who you are and then get a better picture of what that looks like. If you have any questions, again, there is a Slack channel that you can get some support. Throughout now, it's a 24-hour situation, so just drop those questions in there. We can support you along the way with anything with the pre-work. So the thing you want to make sure you know for admissions criteria, all of the pieces need to actually be completed and must be submitted. And then lastly, that the final deadline is going to be April 1st at 11:59 Pacific time. Again, April 1st, 11:59 Pacific time. And then we'll let you know what our decisions are by April 22nd, 11:59 Pacific time as well. So give you that heads up. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now it's the end. Sorry, that slide snuck up on us. Okay, so moving on to Workday. Angeline, do you want to take it away so we can talk about Workday?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Tori. So I am here to share about Workday. Hopefully you all have heard the name Workday, you've seen our name, but we want to provide some more information to you about who we are as a company and what we are really looking forward to, sharing with you all in this site program. So Tori, if you can move ahead, we do have a quick video that we would like to share, just to give you a glimpse into the Workday world.
Can you guys hear it? No?
No.
No? Okay, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Share sound. Share. Okay, take two, guys. How about now?
This is Sydney, Paris, Tokyo, Dublin, and San Francisco. This is Ritika, Sabine, Tatsuki, Barry, and Vincent. What do they all have in common? They all speak the same language.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. They all speak Workday. This is Workday. We make enterprise software. We were born in the cloud in 2005 when the cloud was only that. When we started Workday, we were determined to break from the past. By doing so, we've created a bright future. Today, we're doing things that have never been done before. And we're doing it globally, reaching millions of people while being recognized as inclusive, diverse, and overall just plain great. How are we doing all of this? Maybe because we have meetings like this, forge friendships like this, give people the freedom to do their best work like this, hire individuals who dive right in like this. We value integrity, reward innovation, promote fun, love our customers, and have customers who love us a lot. Other companies talk about balancing work and personal life, but Workday brings the two together. So bring your talents, your passions, and your whole self to work. Help us dream up a new future in Dublin, demo a product in Paris, create a marketing strategy in San Francisco, and tackle the industry's biggest challenges. Whoever you are, wherever you are, come join us. Together, we're making work better.
Awesome. All right.
Thanks, Tori. So let's get started with the name Workday. Where does that come from? Why are we called Workday? So first and foremost, there are several reasons why we are Workday. Several of those reasons are, number one, it's simple and easy to say. It also works well internationally, and we are a global company. So in German, it's Worktag. I don't know all the other languages, but that's a little tidbit. And then also it stretches to accommodate future changes. So as the world continues to iterate, as we continue to add more products, Workday is just a good name to have long term with all of the future iterations that we will have. And funny fact is that our first tagline when the company started was it's a dawn of a new day of cloud computing and enterprise applications. So it's a dawn of a new day. I think Workday is a lot simpler, a lot easier to say and to put on, any type of logo that we like. But what's really fun about our logo is if you see the orange sign on top, that represents the Workday sun. And you'll hear about the sun and the rising sun, how we're rising to occasions in different avenues. But if you also look at the Workday name and you flip it upside down, Tori, it's a happy face. So what's better than seeing your company's name with a happy face in it? So we love that. Workday right now has over 15,000 employees globally. We have 3,200 individuals in Europe and 775 individuals in APJ. Workday is deployed in more than 175 countries and in 35 languages. So we are everywhere, as we like to say, and continuing to grow in our products, our brand, and our customer base. A little bit about who we are as a company, what we value. Tori, if you'd like to move forward.
Yes.
What you'll see here are the 6 core values that are near and dear to all of our hearts as workmates. What you will always see on our core values is that employees are the #1 value that we have. And that is because our founders and our leaders know that by putting employees first, we are the foundation of the company. And they know that if employees are taken care of, then in turn, we also want to make our customers happy. We also will treat each other well. And we just want to do a good job for the business. So they take care of us really well. In turn, we also take care of each other and our customers very well. And customer service came at a very close second in our core values. We do care a lot about our customers, whether that is internal or external customers. And we have consistently received at least 97% in customer satisfaction year over year, which is awesome for the customer size that we do have. So we're very proud of that. And we try really hard to provide good customer service. Innovation, of course, very key for any kind of tech company that wants to continue to innovate and work on our products. We encourage all of our workmates to innovate on anything that they see that can be improved. And we really look at our early career talent individuals in this space as well, because you bring a lot of wonderful ideas to the company. So we love our interns, our new grads, and hopefully all of you that will be part of the site program. Integrity is the foundation and trust for all that we do. So we always want to maintain our integrity in all of our work on a day-to-day basis. We do always want to have fun as well. In that video that you saw, that's some of the fun that we have in person together in our offices, on campuses, and we're super excited to be together again in this coming year. So Workday is kind of known for the on-campus activities that we have, and we're super excited to be together, and hopefully for those that will be part of the site program, like Brian mentioned earlier, you'll get to come and visit our campus later on in the summer. And then profitability, of course, very important to us. We do want to make sure that we're profitable, and we know that if the other 5 values that we have are in place, then profitability will organically come about and will organically happen.
There we go.
There you go. And what you'll hear a lot about Workday is our VIBE initiative. And VIBE stands for Value, Inclusion, Belonging, and Equity. And what this means to us is really providing an environment where all of our workmates feel that they can be their selves and bring their whole self to work. So we want everybody to feel valued for their unique perspectives. As you can see with over 250 individuals on this call alone, you all come from different universities, different backgrounds, and our workmates globally all come from different experiences as well. So we want everybody to feel comfortable and confident in bringing that experience and that knowledge to the table and to discussions. So we really promote our environment of just making sure that everybody feels valued and included, and they can be themselves. Right. So what does Workday do as a company? To give you a very broad kind of overview, Workday is a leading provider of enterprise cloud applications for finance and human resources. We help customers adapt and thrive in our changing world. And our applications really cover anything from financial management to human resources, planning, spend management, and analytics. And it has been adopted by thousands of organizations around the world and across different industries. Our customers, as of now, represent over 9,500 of the world's largest companies, educational institutions, and government agencies globally. And that's more than 55 million individuals whose days are brighter with Workday. So what you'll see is that if you have used Workday's recruiting platform by submitting applications when you're job searching, if you have been a TA or if your educational institution uses the Workday platform, that's Workday behind the scenes. If you see our logo to get paid, that's the payroll function. So if you'd like to move ahead, Tori.
Yeah. Was the volume good on the last video?
It was.
Okay, great.
Yes.
All right.
So,
great.
like I mentioned before this video starts, just to give you all kind of a brief overview of what this is about. This is our student kind of experience, what you would use as a student if your educational institution utilizes the Workday platform. So hopefully that is relevant to you all. Maybe some of you have seen it. And here we go.
Workday understands the student experience matters most. The goal is to keep students on track to accomplish their learning objectives by surfacing the right information at the right time for action. Oftentimes, students are required to manage their academics, finances, advising appointments, and much more across several disparate systems and experiences, which causes confusion and frustration. With Workday, students have immediate visibility into their inbox action items, and can easily complete tasks within a single experience. Now available are Keep Track cards, which highlight important next actions like registration or making the next installment on a payment plan. And if the student is also a worker on campus, the content on the Keep Track cards will display a blend of actions. Engaging students throughout their educational journey is key. The home page can also surface customer-defined content in the form of notifications and announcements. Last, the home page now includes an Academics Hub and Finances Hub, which act as a launchpad for other deeper experiences within Workday. For example, in the Academics Hub, students have access to a variety of information and tasks, such as academic progress, advising appointment summaries, and planning and registration activities. And the academic planning experience has improved thanks to Workday's simple drag-and-drop capabilities. Now students can confidently plan their coursework, knowing when a course is selected, students immediately understand if they are eligible to enroll or not. Up next is the Finances Hub.
Awesome. So I saw a couple comments in the chat box about people noticing that it does look familiar. So we'd love to just get your reactions if you are familiar with the Workday platform, whether you've used it in school as a TA or payroll purposes, or if you've even seen our recruiting platform when you were applying to jobs. Would love to see any of those fun reactions on the screen, see how many of you are familiar with the Workday platform. All right, a lot of applications, very cool. Very cool. Well, we love to see that you are aware of the Workday platforms. Hopefully you'll dive deeper and get to know us more through the site program. And one of the ways that we really want to be able to share more about Workday is through our mentors that will be working with you in this site program. So Workday will have mentors, our developers who are very passionate and very eager to help you all in getting started with learning these kind of technical skills and know what it's like to be a software developer or work in a tech company. So that is the goal of our mentors this summer when they are aligned to have a mentee. But as Brian mentioned earlier, we will have Workday mentors one-on-one with each of the mentees in the site program. So you will meet with your mentors during your assigned scheduled time. I know that the site program has delegated time for everything. So you will have designated time to meet with your mentors, ask them about their role at Workday, their experience while you're going through the program, any technical questions that you may have that they can answer for you. They will be available to answer, and hopefully you'll build those relationships with your mentors throughout the summer. And then our goal is that you can maybe come on board as a Workday intern the following year and get to see your mentor some more, maybe even be directly on their team for that additional mentorship. That's what we do have. Some of the former site program turned Workday interns coming in as this summer. So your mentors are there to help you, to guide, and to build those relationships with you and to give you a glimpse of what life is like at Workday.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angeline. This is a good segue into our next portion. Speaking of, students that did get return offers, I'm excited to have Carlos and Obehi here with us today. They were site interns with Workday last summer, and they did both get return offers. So really excited to have you both. Hi, Carlos and Obehi. Why don't we, are you guys here? Let me make sure. Can you guys just maybe say a quick round of intros? I think I saw you guys sneak in a little bit ago.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, I'm
Hi,
here.
Benny. Awesome. You guys want to quickly introduce yourselves so everyone can get to know you guys?
You want me to go first, or you want to go?
Yeah, go
Carlos?
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi guys, my name's Obehi. I'm currently a junior studying computer science at Georgia State University right now.
Awesome. Carlos, you want to go
Hi,
next?
everyone. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Carlos. I study at FIU computer science as well. And yeah.
Awesome. Cool. A lot of FIU in the house. I saw some other GSUs. So Carlos and Obehi are representing. And then, Carlos is an incoming software development engineer intern at Workday, and Obehi full stack web development intern at CodePath and Workday. So really awesome. Would love to get to know, how was your site? How has site prepared you for where you are and your goals and where you guys are headed? We'd love to hear how the site program has helped you both. Carlos, do you want to take it away?
Sure. So the site program specifically helped me a lot in learning new technologies. They basically taught us the Perl stack, so Postgres, Express, React, and Node. But not only that, the instructors were there to help us actually learn, and it helped me to learn to be comfortable with not knowing things and being able to learn things on my own. So in terms of helping with my goals after the program, I was able to come out with a new sense of how to learn things, and I've been able to work on projects on my own and start learning other technologies. I've been diving into iOS development, game development, other areas, and it just made me more excited about learning more about tech and being in this field. So it definitely has brought me a lot closer to my goal of breaking into the field of software engineering.
Awesome. And just to put a face to the web application that we featured earlier, Carlos was the one that helped design and create the Curious app that we shared in a previous slide. It was the app that basically helped people learn about cryptocurrency and practicing trading safely. So that's, he created this app in this program. So really awesome. Thank you for sharing, Carlos. Obehi, you want to chime in?
Sure. So before the program, I was, of course, studying computer science. I got into it sophomore year, so it was pretty, I guess you could say, late compared to other students. So I really didn't know much about computer science, like Java and Python and stuff like that. I just know I like to be creative in computer science. So I think the web development and the site program really helped me a lot. So after being in site, it helped me realize I loved web development and UX UI. And that was from a tech taste that you guys will probably have sometime this program. So my plan is to become a web developer and intern at site this summer.
Amazing. That's awesome. So good to hear. This leads me to my next question. What was your favorite part of site? Did anything stand out to you guys in particular? What was the thing that really stood out to you guys? Carlos, do you want to go first again?
Sure. So really everything about the program I liked, but if I have to pick something specific, I would say just working on the Capstone project with my team, being able to actually develop something as a team is something that I never had to do before. I basically came into the program after taking just programming 1. So I knew, like Obehi said, very basic Java. And I was scared to work in a team. I was scared going into the internship. But just having the support of not only the instructors, but also my mentor at Workday, they taught us so many things, not even just technology, but my mentor in specific pushed our team to do more project management, to do code reviews, to make sure we had daily stand-ups and plan accordingly. And because of that, we were actually able to create our app with way more features that we thought we could have initially, since we only had the 6 weeks that we had to build it. We planned for much less than what we actually ended up doing, and they helped us to actually do that. So now it's something that I do every single time I build a project. I take into consideration like planning and all that because of my mentor, and also just the environment, because the environment was great. I felt always at home. And there were events that were hosted by Workday that were super fun as well. And this year, you guys will get to do that in person because we had that remote last year. But still, it was such a great opportunity.
Awesome. So good to hear. Awesome. Obehi?
Yeah, I had a few things actually. One of the things is that I don't know if for college members, but we used to play like games in the beginning of the day. So there was this game called Debugger, and that was really fun. So you guys would get to play that. And then in the middle of our breaks, we'd play Among Us with our groups and like with other groups and stuff. So that was really, really fun as well. I would say another thing is probably the diversity. I really liked how everyone was from like different regions, different universities. So that was really interesting to see. So I was able to talk to people from Florida, from California, and that was just really great to like experience, because I think that's really important whenever job you decide to get into. And also being in a group, you're probably never going to be alone, like when you're learning something new, which I think is really great. So you get insight from like your peers, from like TAs and your instructor as well. So I would say those things are like my favorite part of the program.
Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. Really appreciate you guys coming today to, kind of give an inside scoop of what the experience was like. And, congratulations to you both for receiving return offers. It's so exciting. I'm happy to give you guys your time back. I know you guys are busy, but we are moving on to the live Q&A. I'm sure some students might have some questions for you guys, but no pressure. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Awesome. All right. So this leads us to, thank you guys. This leads us to our live Q&A portion. I know you guys have been sitting tight with a lot of questions, but before we do, encourage you guys to apply and complete the pre-work today. The deadline is April 1st, so time is ticking. My colleagues will drop the application link in the chat. And if you guys are struggling with the pre-work, we do have a pre-work support Slack that is operating 24/7. So we'll be here to support you. No problem. You'll want to join the web dev public channel. That's where you can add any questions specifically about this pre-work and get support. Awesome. So here's our general Q&A. Feel free to raise your hand. We can do it that way or address things in the chat. I did see someone had their hand raised for earlier. I think it was Michelle.
And I have gathered a couple from the chat too, so either way.
Okay, great. I do see 2 hands raised. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, bear with me. I do see Abdul Rahman.
Oh, yeah, hi. So I was wondering if the admissions are done on a rolling basis, like week by week, or if it's all just once at the end.
I believe it's, go ahead.
Oh, gotcha. So we are processing applications as they come in. So that's sort of how we're doing that, but we will consider all the applications that do make it by the deadline.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next I see Manav.
Hi, I had a quick question regarding the eligibility criteria of the application. So are students who are on CPT allowed to apply, because CPT does not require employer sponsorship? So are CPT students allowed to apply?
Yes, I just got confirmation of this today, actually. So as long as you do not require sponsorship, you can apply. So if you're a CPT, and I believe that's one other that falls in that same category, that you can still apply, yes.
Okay,
great.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, next I see Ashley has her hand raised.
Yeah, hi. I hate to ask yet another question about eligibility, but I just have kind of a weird situation. My university is fully accredited and it's a bachelor's degree program, but it doesn't follow the traditional school schedule and it is self-paced. So there isn't the usual distinction made between freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Many people finish it in less than 4 years because it's self-paced. Based on my progress in the degree, I am just about to be a junior, I believe, based on progress, but I didn't know if I would be eligible since it's such a non-traditional situation and how I would verify that status.
So what I would say is, based on that, I would go ahead and apply. And because what we're looking for is just making sure that you are set up from the CS side of things, ready to go, and that you'll be falling in that category of that 2024 graduate space. If you were in a traditional space, would you be in that category? So think about it that way. And if we do have a question, we would reach out just to make sure. But that I would, if you are falling in a place where you say your classwork would put you at a junior level, then I think you would want to give it a go.
Yeah, I would go
Awesome.
ahead and apply, and I'm going to drop the admissions@codepath.org email. I would probably follow up with that email just to kind of reiterate your case, and we can follow up with you there.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. All right, next on my screen, I see Namit.
Hi. So my question was, because my school is in a quarter system, my final exams are on the first week of this program. So the first 3 days I would have exams. Would I still be eligible to apply, or would you not recommend that?
That's a tough one. I mean, so I would say this: if you're really interested in the program, I would say still apply. That would just mean that you'd be a really interesting first week for you in terms of finals happening at the same time. But that would be a decision you would have to make. And if you feel like you could do both of those things successfully, I would say I would go ahead and give it a go.
Cool. All right. Next on my screen, I see Pax.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. I was wondering actually about the Capstone in terms of the sponsor. I know Workday and I think Course Hero is sponsoring this year. I was wondering, is there any opportunity for students who are accepted to build their Capstone to be something useful for the company, like maybe something that would be integrated in the future for the company, like as an app for the main product?
So I was looking to my Workday people to see if they wanted to say anything on that. But so here's what I would say to that. That's a really great question. You have some autonomy over what your capstone project will be. So I would say if that's something you feel like would be interesting to you and you feel like would be helpful to think about sort of helping you to stand out or sort of stand out to the Workday partners, I definitely think that's something you could certainly do. But in terms of if it's a requirement, it is not a requirement of us in terms of the program to create something directly for the corporate partners. But again, we do feel free to be encouraged to do so. And if you're working with your mentor to figure out if there's an opportunity to solve a problem they may have or to create something that may help them in the future.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, Brian, if you'd like, I can just add from the Workday side, just to add on to that, like if your site program capstone project is something that Workday would like to take a look at more, or hopefully in the future you can bring it to Workday. If you do become a Workday intern in the future, you learn more about our technologies and how that will be incorporated. It is a long road ahead. Of course, the site program is leading into our internship before you then lead into potentially a full-time opportunity post-graduation. But innovation is one of our key values, our core values. So if you have an innovative idea, we'd love to hear it. Let's continue those conversations.
Cool. It's exciting. Good question. All right. Next up, I have Anaika.
Hi, I just had a small question. So I'm currently a freshman in college, but I'm going to graduate in 3 years because of the credits that I have. So would I be able to apply for this? Because next year I think I would be considered a junior.
So I would say that's similar to the other question that we matched in terms of if you feel like if we were to place you in a regular space, where would you sort of end up? And then also think about it this way: if you are a freshman, do you have these at least the CS1 course underneath you and are familiar with those basic concepts of functions and arrays and things of that nature? So I would say it that way. Again, if you feel like if you know that you'd be in a junior space, certainly go ahead and give it a go. And as Tori mentioned before, she dropped the link in there to speak specifically to your situation.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Awesome. And then next I have Ahmad.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so my question is a bit similar from the last one, but I just want to make sure. So if I have enough credits to be considered a sophomore, but by the end of the spring semester, I won't have enough to be a junior, would I still be eligible to apply?
Okay, so to make sure I understood you correctly. So you're saying you'll be a sophomore, but by the end of the year, you won't have enough credits to be a junior.
Yes.
Is that the thought process? Okay, got you. That's a good question. I would put you in the same situation, in the idea that if you are going to be a rising junior, you would still sort of possibly considered a rising junior in that way. So I would say to give it a go and to write your specific situation in that place. We do want to try and make sure that we're capturing those rising juniors in that way. And obviously, as you all have just heard, that sounds different in different places and depending on how your college is set up. So we do want to try to consider that. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Awesome. Next I see Charles.
Hi, I wanted to find out, since rising seniors are not eligible, when a rising senior is going to have the chance to get in. Thank you.
So in particular, this program is focused on rising juniors. I do believe Workday has internships that are for rising seniors separately of this. So you can apply directly. I see heads nodding. So yeah, so you can apply directly to the Workday internship if that is something you feel interested in as well. So.
Yeah, and also CodePath also has like not necessarily internship opportunities, but we do have a technical interview prep course that's happening this summer. If that interests you, it is kind of one of our most popular courses. If you guys are if you're looking to like strengthen your interview skills and things of that nature. So that is another opportunity CodePath is providing this summer if you're looking to find something sooner like as in the summer. So that's what CodePath has going on. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next we have Christy.
Hi. I think I heard Brian saying that you guys will be viewing the pre-work submissions as they are rolling in. And I was just wondering if we want to like improve on the pre-work, would we have to resubmit it? And also if we were to resubmit it, would that like affect any of the chances of us like getting in? Like would it lower my chance of getting in if I resubmit it? Should I just keep the project as is or can I improve it?
That's a great question. And the reason I say that is because what I would suggest is for you to try to do as much of the pre-work to the point where you are ready to submit it first and then submit it. So if that means you want to wait a little bit longer, that's okay. No worries here, as long as you get it before the deadline date. Just because again, if you were to do that, it is likely it could get graded before you resubmit it or have made it better in that way. So I would suggest that you sort of get it to a place where you're excited about it and want to submit it, and then we can go from there. I'm excited to hear you want to make it better though and iterate. So that's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Next up I have Adian.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
I was just wondering because I noticed a lot of the people here were at four-year universities. I'm currently at a community college, so I was just wondering if I was still eligible.
I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, thank you.
Brian or anyone else, feel free to chime in.
No, you are still available, still eligible to do so. Again, we just want to make sure that you have the coursework underneath you in order to be able to do so. And the goal again is that other eligibility pieces that you would be looking to graduate within that 2024 piece. So, yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. Next I have Sahoni.
Hi, how's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, my name's Sajoni, so I think you got it right one of those times. But and I had actually like two questions. One you might find particularly interesting yourself. But my first question was as far as as far as the competition is concerned and being able to develop your own apps, how does the IP work within that regards? Is it something that we're basically offering up to the competition for us to be able to gain entry and just sacrificing it to those that may, or is it something that we could actually build on in the future? Like, for example, there were so many great ideas that came out that you just showed that, it really made me curious.
All right. So I will answer that question in this way. We don't, as CodePath, we are not looking to keep the IP that's created from that space. So what that means is that if you have developed something that you want to continue and build out of this program, you are more than welcome to take your code and continue to build on afterwards. But again, we do ask you to build a capstone project that is compelling, that shows the work that you're able to do. So if that does feel like you might be sort of spilling the tea leaves for other people, that's okay, because again, the goal is for it to be a learning environment. But I would say again, the thought process is that we would not take ownership of that. But again, it is meant for you to show us what you can do with the projects. And as you see, some of them are actually really, really great projects that could be built out into some great applications. So hopefully I answered your question. I want to make sure that I did, but the goal there is again, about the learning piece, not necessarily about us grabbing great IP.
Yeah, it seemed pretty straightforward. So as long as you don't, then obviously we're gonna, drop big bombs there. So that's really great. And my second question, actually, since I saw that you guys were trying to get students in certain areas or ones that wanted to relocate in those areas, I kind of got a rep for the 305 right now. I feel like we have a really big fintech industry blowing up right now. Is there any opportunities CodePath or Workplace has in store or any plans for the future?
I will give that one to Tori.
Oh, or the Workday team. I don't know if you guys are expanding here, but I'm also in 305, so would love to see Workday here too. That'd be cool.
So, and also I know that we do have a lot of other, I think we just are going to do some work in Miami itself in general with CodePath as well coming up soon. So that might also be a situation to think about. I don't know the details of that, so I want to leave that alone. But and then hopefully Workday will join out as well. But Miami is definitely an area that is having a boom as well. So
I would never say never for Workday. You just never know. And we've done a lot of expansion geographically through acquisitions and some mergers recently. And I know that our Adaptive Insights acquisition, which is our planning and analytics function, comes with a Florida office. So we do have some workmates who are in Florida, although, and Angeline, you probably know this better than I don't believe they're in Miami. They might be.
I don't think they've reached Miami yet. I will say, like Jenny said, Workday, like I said, we're trying to be everywhere, right? Both mobile, online, our products are everywhere. We want workmates to be everywhere globally as well. But part of that is also, we want you to have a good mentorship, good management if you are to come. So when we do hire our interns and when we hire our new grads, it is very strategic to make sure that you have somebody that you can lean on for guidance. And so, yes, maybe in the future we will be there, but it will probably take some time. We don't want you kind of like floating around without that proper mentorship first, but hopefully.
course. Looking forward to the future, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome. All right. Next we have Nana.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I have two questions as well. One kind of piggybacking off of Christy. So I completed the pre-work, and then after I submitted it, I went back to my GitHub and realized there was an issue with my 5-minute video, and I realized that like 5 to 6 hours later. So I submitted it again. So like within that 5-hour period, like did you guys or like the people who graded, did they grade that before I was able to fix that issue in some sort of way?
I feel like that might be an admissions at CodePath question.
So I'd have to email those guys.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
check in with
Okay.
them.
Okay. And then my second question is, what are the chances of an applicant who has no like coding experience have a chance of getting in against like someone who has, prior experience? Like we meet the requirements of taking like a CS 101 class, but like one has more knowledge or, is more creative than the other. Like what are the chances of the person who, is who wants to learn, what chances do they have of getting into the summer program?
Yeah, I really appreciate this question because it does get to at the heart of who we're looking for. And I will say that this is what we call sort of getting a pre-internship. So this, while it is a program that moves fairly quickly, it also is meant to start with someone that has a beginner to novice experience. So again, if you are someone that is already building full stack applications, this may not be the program for you, again, because what we're looking to do is to build out that skill set. So give you that heads up. So really what we are looking for is those that have some experience with HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, or a programming language in general. We don't look for you to be super experienced at all. So don't think that because you don't have as much experience as someone else that you're not as valuable or have as much chance, because we are looking for those folks that we can work with and build along the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you. And guys, I know we're a few minutes over, so if you got to go, feel free to hop off. We'll stick around a little longer to continue to answer questions. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. All right, next up we have Ramsey.
Hello, how you doing? I have two questions. The first one is there a place that I could attach my resume? Because I feel like it gives my application a different touch. Because I have a lot of my experience on my resume, but I didn't have a chance to kind of explain that on the application.
I do believe the application process, it has like a LinkedIn portion, so you can like add on your LinkedIn. And I think maybe if you add your resume to your LinkedIn, that might be one way to tack that on there. But I don't think the application itself has like a section where you can upload your resume.
Okay, all right. And then second question, what can I do to like make my application, different than everyone else's?
Great question. So I think what I would say is that there is an opportunity in the actual pre-work itself for additional options or more extensions to sort of show that. We'd love to see what creative pieces you might add to the actual pre-work itself. I would also say that taking your time and really thinking thoughtfully about the questions in the video response will really help us to see where you are with that. Again, we are looking for people that are able to communicate and articulate where they want to be, or not necessarily that you need to know what you want to do, but that your interest in computer science, why, being able to speak to things that sort of a self-assessment, being able to say, what are things that I'm really good at? What are things that I have challenges? And then ultimately really looking to see what is it that you're looking to get out of the program. So I would say those would be the things that would really highlight your application for us. And if we're able to tell through your video response as well as your written response to the reflection questions as well in your pre-work.
All right, that's good. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Cool. All right, next up we have Taylor. I like your icon.
Thank you. Hi, so I applied for this program and also the technical interview prep course, and I got accepted to the interview prep course and haven't confirmed my enrollment yet. I'm not sure like if you have any advice about the timing of this, or if I can apply for both, or if this is a like an admissions question.
That's a good question. I do think they kind of overlap. Let me double check the dates.
Yeah, they do. So I mean, obviously, if I get into this one, I would prefer to do this over the other course. I just don't want to lose my spot in the interview prep course by waiting.
I feel like that's an admissions question, or Brian, I don't know if you.
Yeah, Taylor, if you would, can you write that to that email, the support at CodePath, so we can track the situation? Because again, if we don't want to fault you per se for being so exceptional that you got in both programs, but we do want to just make sure that on our side, if it makes sense, which one makes the most sense in terms of having you participate in, if they overlap. I'm pretty sure you can do them both at the same time, but.
Yeah, and also good news is that you'll hear about the site internship opportunity no later than April 22nd. So you can kind of like assess, there, and then the deadline for the technical interview prep is May 9th. So there's kind of like a nice little gap between deadlines. So, if you hear back from the internship, you can kind of assess whether you do the technical interview prep course or not. So, you have some time there.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, next we have Sammy. I also like your icon, very cute.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was wondering, how many interns are you guys looking to accept?
So we are looking to grow our program. Last year we had a total of, I believe, 35, and this year we're looking to get to about 55 to 70. So growing a little bit this year.
Got it. Thank you.
Awesome. Next we have Ron.
Hey, how you guys doing? First, I'd like to give a shout out to Carlos and Tori. It's always good to see, FIU alumni and upperclassmen leading the way, carrying the torch, so to speak. Also, I do remember Simon Says, Brian, so we're in the same boat there, buddy. Also, shout out to CodePath and Workday. I mean, it's a great opportunity presented to everybody. And thank you for the time you guys are, providing us. I have two questions. Number one, my video was 6 minutes. Is that okay? I think maybe it's a little too long. And also, what's the grading criteria for the work, given that it's a lot of the same steps for everybody? Like, how do you pick and choose who's gonna make the program? Thanks.
Yeah, it's a great question. The 6 minutes, you're cutting it close, Rob. So I'll tell you that much. And really that's just because of the volume of applications that we get, where that becomes more of a concern than anything else. So, well, I'll put it that way. I don't think it'll be too much of a concern issue, but again, for those who haven't submitted it yet, please keep it as close as you can to that 5-minute mark. As far as what we are looking for in grading, so you're correct in terms of the pre-work is definitely very similar, and it's a step-by-step piece. And so we're looking for, are you able to follow along with those steps and actually complete them without issue? But you also have what we have as our response questions that go along with that pre-work. And that's really where we're going to be able to see and make some assessments between what are the pieces that you were able to bring in, what were tools that you were able to identify, what challenges did you have, all of those pieces where we're looking for some really thoughtful answers from you in terms of that. So that's really where that meat comes in. And then the second part of it is really that video where we're looking for those thoughtful responses from you as well. So that's the criteria for the most part. I don't know if I'm answering your question fully, but we do have sort of our criteria, and it's really based around those two major parts.
No, that was great. Thanks. Sounds good.
All right, thank you. Love the FIU pride. I just teared up a little bit. Thank you. All right, we will move on to Abdul.
Thank you so much. I have two questions. The first question is I don't know if somebody asked it already. I'm an international student with F1 visa. Do I still qualify to apply?
I believe it was a yes, right? As
Well,
long as you have a visa.
The way I answer that question is, as long as you do not need to be sponsored by an employer, you can apply.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then the second question is, I finished the pre-work program. I just have to I pushed it to my GitHub, but the response questions that I have to write, do I put it in the README file and the video and everything, attach everything in the README file?
I would put it there as well. I believe there is a slot in the application for it as well. So that's why I'm sort of blanking, but I know I believe we have actual fields for you to fill that in. But if not, definitely the README file would be a place to also include it.
Okay. Yeah.
But that would be an admissions questions to be sure though. You can email them and they can give you directly.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely send an email, a follow-up email. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Awesome. Next we have Lewis.
Hello, how's it going? My question was regarding the having a beginning CS class done. I don't have any beginning CS class done since I'm a Comp E major, but I do have a beginning Comp E class which taught the C language. So I was just wondering, would that still count towards that, or because they did teach in there the basics loops, structures, and stuff like that.
Yes, I would say so. Comp E is definitely still one of those related majors. If you've done a class in C, that's still a programming language. And so we want to make sure that it doesn't have to be the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We just want to make sure that you're familiar with those concepts and structures and that you've had a class where you've worked with those and worked through those before. So if that's the case in that class that you did take, that sounds like you said Comp E 101 kind of deal, that would meet that requirement.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Cool. All right, next we have Manu.
Hi, I'm a master's student, so I just wanted to check if I was eligible for this program.
You said you're
pursuing my master's graduate degree.
Got it. I believe this opportunity is intended for sophomores that are rising juniors. I think it's only for sophomores and rising juniors.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. I see Pax.
Sorry, I had two questions that I just remembered I wanted to ask as well. I was wondering, I know you said that we would hear definitely by 22nd April. I was wondering if we would be able to hear before that if we applied earlier.
I will say it's a possibility. I don't want to rope myself into that, but it is a possibility. We are, as we said, processing them as they come in. So that's part of that space, but it is a possibility you may hear before then as well.
And I was also wondering about the pre-work. I know there are some optional components that were listed that you could implement. I was also wondering, to stand out, would it be encouraged if we added more optional components, maybe something that we thought would make the game even more fun?
So I would say this way, the way that we created the optional components is meant for you to add your creative flair. So if that is something that you feel like you'd be able to do, definitely do that. It is not a necessity. I want to make sure that that's clear, that it's not a necessity, but it is something that we do look to see if someone was able to either add their creative flair onto it or to be able to go a little bit more into this space. But again, I want to make sure that it's not necessary. But that would be one of those ways to be able to show us that creative flair. But really what we'd be looking at is how could you talk or articulate about that, what you added in those reflection questions, if that makes sense. What effort did you try, or what would you have liked to have done if you could have had more time or had more space? So really thinking about using those reflection questions as opportunities for us to get to know a little bit more about you.
Awesome, thank you.
Sure.
Cool. All right, we have Ani.
Hello. I just had a question about the the balance, I'd say. Like, do you think I'd be able to take summer classes and maybe go on vacation or incorporate stuff like that? Or like, will this be taking up most of my time for the summer?
Yeah, no, that's a really great question. I'm glad you asked. And I'm going to be very honest with you. It is an immersive program and it's 8 to 4. So I think about it like that in terms that we don't really expect you to do a whole lot of work outside of that window. But in that 8 to 4 period, we do expect you to be available and immersed in the actual program. So I leave that to you to say if that's something that you feel like you could do. Likely taking summer classes, though, is something we don't recommend just because, again, it's those classes will likely happen the same time as the program is happening. And we want you to be able to be as involved as possible. Certainly with it being virtual, a vacation might be a possibility for you to take your laptop to the beach and hang out with us. But I do think, again, that's sort of for you to figure out. But I will tell you, as a recommendation, I would not do an additional summer class at the same time.
Yeah, and
Thank
I do
you.
think, yeah, no problem. I do think attendance is mandatory throughout like the whole entire 10 weeks, right? I don't think there's any like, yeah. Awesome. Good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. All right, next I have Nazruddin.
Yep. I know you mentioned that people are getting accepted on a rolling basis, but is it possible that it can be filled before the deadline, or the spots get a lot smaller?
Well, so we're processing as we go along, right? So the thought process is not necessarily that we're filling all of our applications, but that we're creating sort of our short list to then be processed for the final situation. So we're not, which is why I answered the question earlier about saying it's likely that we won't get it before then, because we do want to make sure that we give the time to go through all of the applications that we have received. So to answer your question, it's likely that it's not likely that the slots will dwindle per se the later you get in. I will say, just as a person and a person helping to run this project, I would love for you guys to get them in earlier than the last day, just because that does add some extra pressure on us, but it shouldn't cause any issue.
Cool. Awesome. Next I see Pavit.
Hey, yeah. So I am very interested in the program and all, and I would love to work, but there's one issue, that one question is there. Like I'm planning to go back to my home country, and during the summer. So would that work if I attend everything and all? If I attend every meeting and all, would that work for you all? Can I
think
work
it's
from home?
I think it's doable. You know, I do think there may be an in-person component at the end of the internship. But also another concern that comes to mind is maybe the time difference. So, don't want to, overwork you or stress you out if the time difference is kind of too hectic. So that's something to consider. But yeah, it is mainly a remote course. There may be some travel at the end. But yeah, definitely don't, consider the time difference, I would say.
Okay, but I can still apply, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. All right, next I see Ernesto.
Yes, so I noticed that one of the requirements is for students to plan to go into software engineering. I was wondering if you could expand on this a little bit. For example, if we're planning to head to graduate school after graduating, maybe head in a direction involving back-end software engineering, machine learning, etc. Not especially web development. Is this a pathway that's somehow inconsistent with what you're looking for?
That's a great question. So what I would say to that is that really what we mean in that from that criteria is that we're looking for people that are looking to go into the tech industry, particularly into software. And obviously, as you just mentioned, software has a few different areas and spaces. So what we understand here is that this doesn't, because you're going through this program, we don't expect you to now all of a sudden be going into full stack engineering. Even as Obehi mentioned that she's now looking at UI, UX, but the thought process is that you're looking into going into the area of computer science, of software engineering in general. And again, we know plans change, but again, we want you to at least come in with the thought that that's something that you are seriously considering and you're putting things in place to move forward.
And I'll also chime in. Sorry, Brian, to cut you off. I didn't mean to do that. I'm just excited. I would also share that Workday mentors come from a diverse background within software engineering. So I think part of this experience also is to introduce you to professionals in industry so you can see, hey, what's the difference between back end and front end when it comes to like real life software engineering. One of our mentors, for example, works with our security team. And so you'll be exposed not only through CodePath curriculum, but also through the people that you meet to diverse careers in software engineering. So just wanted to add that piece.
Oh, that's great.
Cool, thank you. All righty, last but not least, we have Sejoni again. What's up?
Hey, sorry, I'm in the, trying to get on the bright side of the moon right now because one of these screens just went dark, but yeah. Okay, so apologize about that. So is regarding the stipend, which is the $8,800, I believe, how does that break down? Is it something that's going to cover our room and board when we go to the, to the headquarters towards the end of the program, or is this something that's given up front or broken down throughout the internship? How does that work out? Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I can answer the first part of that is that the cost for heading down to Workday is included in CodePath's and Workday's partnership to have you participate in that. So that would not be part of your stipend. That would just be taking care of us from that side of things. I can tell you in terms of how we are delivering out the actual payments, it's still up in the air right now. We're finalizing what that particular will be, whether or not it'll be one lump sum or whether it'll be over time frame. So I can answer that question a little bit later in terms of space, and we can try to drop that in the FAQ as it gets finalized for the actual summer this time.
Awesome.
Yep.
And I guess I can assume that as far as when we do end up going to San Francisco, we're not going to end up on someone's couch, right? I know rent's pretty high over there.
Yeah, I mean, couches work well, but I don't think
I got you.
Couches. I mean, I will defer to Workday on that one to see if there's a Workday couch for all of our.
We do have very comfortable offices, but we will make sure that we communicate how we are booking, and of course, communicate out to all of you what that would look like. But no couches.
Oh. I was looking forward to it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. I think that's, I think we got all you guys. Really good questions. So thank you guys for participating. Really appreciate it. This was a really high energy call, feeling energized. All right. It's late.
I had, two questions that I grabbed from the chat that I don't think people asked out loud. Was one, sure. Are students who've done previous CodePath programs eligible? And the answer, I believe, is yes, as long as you meet the other criteria. We're excited to have you do as many CodePath programs as you possibly can. So just want to toss that one out there because I don't think anyone else had asked that. And then it was one other one here that says, will the slides be provided? I believe so. We are going to provide the slides for everyone afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you guys will be receiving a follow-up email from me probably tomorrow morning. It's late on the East Coast, so tomorrow morning you can expect an email.
Right, and last one. It says, after completing the pre-work, would you get the job? So again, want to clarify that it is not a guaranteed return offer. Workday has the opportunity to provide a return offer based on the evaluations and the demo day that happens throughout the time frame. So it is not a guaranteed, you do the program, you get an internship, but there's the opportunity to build a relationship and to let them know the type of work you can do and the type of intern you would be, so that you have that sort of inside step on some of the other folks in order to make that happen. So I want to make that clear as well. Yeah, so that's all I got.
Cool. All right. Well, it's late. Want to give you guys your time back. I know we are significantly over. Thank you guys for sticking around. You know, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to admissions at CodePath. I'll also drop my email in the chat in case you guys have any questions. And by all means, join our CodePath pre-work Slack channel to get any support there. I'm sure it'll get fun in there. Our Slack channels are notorious for being a good time. So, you know, thank you guys all for being here. We hope to see you guys on the roster and see your applications roll in. You know, have a great night.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.